Hello everyone! In one of my previous videos, I talked about how to make animations from the image to image tab in Stable Diffusion. The process used for creating animations using image to image is quite stressful, I would say, because you need to divide the video into frames, you need to generate the images for each frame, and then you need to aggregate all of the frames together for making the final video. So obviously this requires a lot of different tools and time. So one of your comments was to use the Stable Diffusion ControlNet animation extension within Stable Diffusion. And that's what I did today. I used that and I'm here for showing you how to use it and comment on it. Before starting, I would like to share with you that I finally created my Discord page. So in this Discord page, I would like to talk about different issues you have when setting up Stable Diffusion or when using it. I usually get same comments, same questions, so I would like to aggregate everything together so that we can help all each other and we can share projects, ideas, events about AI art. I think it would be great. So I'm gonna leave the link down in the description. If you wanna join, that would be nice. It's free. So this is the GitHub page for this Stable Diffusion ControlNet animation. As you can see from these examples in the GitHub page, you can create video from text, this is the example here, or you can create videos from videos, like this one. As for the image to image, also in this case, when you do video to video animation, you cannot change the subject or the object that much, but you can change the style. If you change the object or the subject from a person to an animal or from a person to a robot or something like that, you will have flickering issues and the animation is not gonna be coherent for the whole time of the video, even if you use ControlNet. Okay, so let's start. The first thing we need to do is to activate the extension within Stable Diffusion. To do that, we can go into Extensions, we go into Available, and we press Load From. Then I'm going to untick this because I have installed already, so if I search in the search bar, I'm not gonna find it. But in your case, if you don't have it, you just need to search here so actually it came out very quickly, is SDCN animation tab here. So what you have to do on the right, you will have install. You press this install button, then you'll go into the installed tab and you will find it here, SDCN animation. Then what I would suggest you to do is not to apply and restart UI, but to close Stable Diffusion and to reinitialize it again through your terminal. Why? Because I did just apply and restart UI, but I still got an issue. And my error was least index out of range. And actually, if you go in the GitHub page, you see that this is one of the known issues in Stable Diffusion, and they are actually telling you that for fixing it, you need to restart Web UI. If you have other issues, I'm not aware of other issues, to be honest, when I was using it, but if you have other issues, you can have a look in the GitHub page into this known issues, or if you go into this issues tab and you search for your issues in here, you probably can find your issues because other people are sharing all of their issues. And if your issues is not there, I would suggest you to open a new ticket with the new issue. So actually this extension is very easy to use. Once you initialize Stable Diffusion for the second time, you should have this SDCN animation tab. You go into this tab and you have other two different tabs. One is video to video, which is obviously creating a video using the video, one of your videos, and then you have text to video. In this case, you can decide whether to use your video and this will be input inside ControlNet, or to just generate a video from nothing, just from a prompt description. This is actually the easiest one, so I'm gonna show you quickly how to do it. So you have the prompt here, you're just gonna type something you would like to see. A prompt that seems to be working very well is this one, where the only part you need to change is this, which is subject. Now, this can be anything, right? I can, for example, type a yellow flower if I want to have a video of a yellow flower. So very simple, really. You can choose which model to use. I'm going to use Stable Diffusion version 1.5, but you can use whichever model you want, and you can also use LoRA models within it. You just need to link to the LoRA model within your positive prompt, and then you just need to use, the magic word. Then, if we scroll down, we have the CFG scale. If you use a higher CFG scale, the video is gonna be more coherent to your prompt, more aligned to your prompt, otherwise it will be less aligned to your prompt. You can choose the seed. If you have -1, it means that it's going to use a random seed. I'll go back to these two in a second. You have the sampling method. You have the sampling steps. Pay attention to the sampling steps because higher they are, the longer will be the time for generating the video. But you don't want to have a sampling step too low, probably between 15 and 20. You have the length of your video. This is calculated in frames. So in my case, I have 40 frames. Video FPS, which is frames per second. So it means how many frames you want to generate, how many images for each second. So in my case, I have 12. So if you have 12 frames per second and you have a total length in frames of 40, actually I can increase it to 48. Let's do that. It means that my video overall will be 4 seconds. Right? Because you need to divide 48 by 12. And then you have ControlNet. So you can open this ControlNet session. I'm not gonna use ControlNet in this case, but if you want to use ControlNet, I'm going to show you how to do it. You enable ControlNet. You can choose this low VRAM or pixel perfect. You can choose your preprocessor. I'm gonna pick a random one like OpenPose. Then you can choose all of the other settings. Probably you are familiar with those already. And you don't have actually to import anything here. So leave this blank. What you have to do, you go up, you have this input video, and it's here where you need to import the video you want to use for ControlNet. So you import the video. Stable Diffusion is gonna split your video into frames automatically, and is going to use each frame in ControlNet. So let me tell you now what these processing strength and fixed frame strengths are. From this interface, you can understand when you press generate that this algorithm works with 2 steps for each frame. So that's why here you have step 1 and step 2. So in the first step, which is step 1, processing strength, the frame, the image is restored. So if you have missing parts or occluded parts in your image, this will be restored. The second step, which is fixed frame strength, is to avoid that the image gets blurred at the end. So usually the default values you can see when you initialize Stable Diffusion inside these tabs are those that works better according to the developer. So once you are happy with all of your settings, you can press the generate button. I'm gonna do that. And the process will start. This shouldn't take too long. Let's see how long it takes. Here there's an estimate of 4 minutes, in my case 5 minutes. However, if you use ControlNet, I noticed that the time increases a little bit. So it's actually now increasing to 12 minutes for some reason. So I'm just gonna interrupt it because I made my video ready. Actually, I can show you my output. You need to go in the Stable Diffusion Web UI, outputs, and then you have SDCN animation. And here you have 2 different folders. You have text to video and video to video. And this is one video I generated, I think yesterday or 2 days ago. And this is text to video. So if you go in the GitHub page, you have here some other examples of some generated videos. Okay, now let's switch to the video to video animation. I've got this video from Pexels. For who doesn't know, it's a website which provides you with free videos and images. So it's actually good if you want to test on some videos and you don't have them straight away. I downloaded this one. However, given that it takes a lot of time to make a video, I would suggest you to initially take just, a frame of the video and import that into image to image, so in here, and play around with settings to understand which settings you like the most. And when the generated image is exactly as you would like to have the video transformed into, you can just copy and paste the settings from one tab to another. So in my case, I decided to use this Rev animated model from Civit AI. In particular, I want to reproduce this style. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy the generation data. I'm going back to Stable Diffusion. I'll paste it in here, and then I click this button here for having all of the settings. I'll drop my frame, which is this one, and I press generate. Now she looks very nice, I think. Obviously the noising strength should be lower because it needs to, look like exactly this one in this case. But this doesn't really matter when we are creating the video because we are going to use ControlNet. So given I'm happy with these settings overall, I'll go into this tab. I'm going to drop the video I want to modify, and I'm gonna copy and paste the prompts from the image to image to this tab. I actually may use less sampling steps because, it already takes a long time for making the video, and increasing the sampling steps will increase the time, probably even 15. Yeah, I'm gonna use 15 definitely. So then for ControlNet, you can open this, but you don't actually have to import any video because ControlNet is gonna get the video you imported before and it's gonna use each frame of that video. So the only thing you need to do actually is enable it, don't forget it, and you need to set the preprocessor, the model. I'm going to use tile. I'm happy with these other settings. Then I want to change the width and the height of my video. I want it to be 536 by 960. Then something I need to mention is that for the video to video, this extension uses RAFT, optical flow estimation algorithm, which is really important in order to get the final video animation stable, so without too much flickering. And to do that, it creates an occlusion mask on top of the frame in order to create the next frame. And you will see this occlusion mask in here. You will see the frame on which the occlusion mask is gonna be applied in here. You see the frame with the occlusion mask on top in here, and the processed frame in here. So one of the things you need to pay attention to, I know I said that usually these two, the processing strength and the fixed frame strength, are usually fine as by default. However, sometimes, at least in my case, but I have heard also other people having the same issue with this setting. So with this fixed frame strength to 0.15, which is quite low, it happens that you have the first frame generated amazing, beautiful, perfect, and then all of the others are kind of blurred. Like this one. So if you look at this, so the first frame is perfect, right? It's very nice, apart from the hands, which are a little bit weird. But then look at this. So after the first frame, the blur increases and the video look like more the original one. So in order to avoid that, you can try increasing this fixed frame strength. The lower the value, the less the noise you have. So in my case, I'll try and increase it to 28, something like 28. Then you have these extra settings in here. I didn't have much time to look into those, but these are related to the occlusion mask parameters. And you probably can play a little bit with them in order to create different occlusion masks, and so probably getting less blur into your video. If you want to try different settings for this video to video, I would recommend you to cut your video into like 2 or 3 seconds and generate, just a few frames initially, because it really takes a lot of time for generating a full video. So you want to make sure again that all of the settings you're using are fine and that you're happy with the output. So once you're happy, you can press generate. And now we can start seeing the different outputs I was talking about, right? So in here you have the current frame. This is the occlusion mask applied on top of this current frame. Here you have the previous frame with the occlusion mask applied. And here you have your output. Once this is finished, so in my case I just uploaded 3.8 megabytes, so it's not a lot, it's just 3 seconds of video, and as you can see here it gives me 15 minutes, which is a lot. So once this is finished, it will give me the final video in MP4. In case you want each frame of the video, you will have to tick this checkbox here. Otherwise, you will get just the video. If you tick this, you will get the video and then a folder next to the video with all of the frames. And this is my final output. So you have on the left the original one, and on the right you have my final one. And I think it looks pretty good. The flickering issue is not basically there thanks to this RAFT algorithm. And also the resolution looks pretty good, although I haven't used a very high one. So I think I'm really happy, I'm really satisfied with this extension. It works pretty well, and I hope you will like it as well. That's it for today. I hope this was useful, and see you at the next video. Bye.